Okay, so this video is going to be a video about why everyone worships something. And I do want to be clear, when I say worship, it might not be the thing that first comes to your mind, such as, when we say worship, the things that tend to come to mind are singing, praying, various rituals, and so on and so forth. It's not necessarily what I'm talking about. Like that falls under the category, but that's not really entirely what I mean. So when I'm saying worship in this context, I mean we all have something that to us is an end in and of itself, and it is the thing that our life principally and totally revolves around. So, I mean, if you were to backtrack, reasons for why you do things, eventually you're going to come to the first cause reason for why you do everything. And otherwise, you don't actually have... Well, no, there is no otherwise, no. Sorry, that was a little bit weird. There is no otherwise. Like, everyone has a prime reason for why they do anything. The thing that is at the absolute center of them, their life, everything. Now, this is obviously supposed to be God, our Creator. He is the author and finisher of our faith. He is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the ending. The only thing to ever exist that is the reason for everything, in a literal sense. But in the modern day, when we have, as a society, largely moved further and further away from God and taken God out of that place of primacy, everyone has to have something in that prime place. Everyone has a first cause reason. So when God is removed as the first cause, and therefore the one who our lives ultimately revolve around, when he is removed, something else must be the first prime reason. And what people want, what people build their lives around, is their first cause. So if a person at the core of themselves wants money more than anything else, then they worship money. Like, they may not sing praises to money, they might not sing songs, etc., but they worship money if money is just an end in and of itself. If they want the money not so they can use the money for something else, but they want the money just because they want the money, then money is what they worship. And what's it called? You can fit pretty much anything into that description. If it's they want, you can do drugs, sex, rock and roll, etc., etc., power, government. Actually, probably one of the better examples of that would be Orwell's 1984. They basically came straight out and said to the main character in the book that their government quite literally worshipped power. The point was power of the state as an end in and of itself. That was their entire purpose, to have power and to get more of it forever. Not to do something with the power, to have the power. And that was it. So that would be an example of worshiping power and worshiping the state. And so recently, in the modern day, we've seen the rise of a whole lot of, well, I was going to say secular faith. Idolatry is probably a closer word. Um, but yeah, there's idolatry in a very real sense. Um, when people have God out of their lives, then they are worshiping celebrities, or some people are worshiping secular religions. Things like, well, what's the word for it? Intersectionality. That's one where the prime purpose for everything is inclusion, diversity, etc., etc., and everything revolves around that, and it's good because it's good, and so it needs to be everywhere, and etc., etc. Veganism, or I don't want to go straight just veganism per se. I mean, I disagree with veganism, but like that more evangelical brand of veganism, that's like the kind of people who seem to almost worship animals or nature to that extent, like to the point where they would support killing a human over having hamburgers for lunch, sort of thing. Like they would consider those to be almost, it's worse to kill an animal than to kill a human, or just it's equivalent, and they revolve their entire life around it. That's a little bit, it fits into the same category. So as religiosity has declined, especially in the West, we see the rise of a whole lot of other things where people are worshiping. They are worshiping animals, they are worshiping celebrities, they're worshiping money, they're worshiping the government, and on and on and on. It's like an endless list, and I guess the ultimate thing is no vacuum will ever stay unfilled. Humans are hardwired to worship, and the only question is going to be who or what you worship. And so I guess the best way to find out what does someone really worship is to find out what is the most important thing in their life. It's either God or it is an idol. Because only God is meant to be in that spot. I hope I didn't do a really terrible job about this, because this is like, I hope this was helpful, and if you have any comments or anything, I would love to hear what you have to think. And God bless you in 2019. I hope you have a very good year. Have a good one.